I mean, this cargo ship thing's pretty cool. The Fellowship. I mean, no copyright infringement there, right? Except for the Fellowship of the Ring, pun intended. But yeah, this town setup's pretty cool. Right, where should I go? Probably back this way, actually. Can we go over the bridge? Looks to be like a dam. Yeah, we can't go that way. Is that a dam? Yeah, it is a dam. Cool. Hey guys, welcome to a new series on Farming Simulator 25, Hutan Pantai. So we're going to start with new farmer. We're going to start with $1 million. No loan, easy economy. We're going to skip the start farm, and we are going to skip the guided tour. So I've got some mods installed, so we'll run with those for the moment. So the plan is to basically focus on the temple build. So the temple build project. So it's going to be a significant amount of logging. So we're going to set up a logging farm. And I also think there's quite a bit of cement production required. So roof tiles and that sort of thing. So we'll have a look at a bit of a game plan for that. Okay, let's go with standard character. Alright, so we start off in, well, obviously this is the starter area. Okay, but we don't own any land at the moment. Now the temple is up over here. So let's go and have a quick look. This is obviously the temple grounds. So we've got car park. This is the temple here. So I did a little bit of recon prior to starting this Let's Play about where I might sort of set up a farming operation. Now I thought about utilising the land closest to the trigger point. So this is obviously where all the goods need to be delivered to. So setting up a sawmill, cutting down the trees through here and then planting some. But of course, don't know if that's actually going to work that well. The problem is it's basically just, the problem I'm trying to sort of solve is reducing the transit time to the temple from wherever I set up the operation. The other downside is it's very hilly through here, okay, so building on flat land is not really going to happen. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, so working our way back along the access road, because there's only one road in, I basically thought about keeping everything as is, so to keep it pristine, per se. And then we're just going to utilise potentially these plots of land here to plant some plantation forests and some factories and what have you. So probably use this field here for the main factory, and then basically plant up these two fields here with trees to begin with. So let's go and have a look at those fields. So that's fields 10 and 11. So let's go ahead and buy those. Okay, and then let's go and have a look at the land. So we've got peas in one field, and in field 10 we've just got a blank canvas per se. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll set up in here to begin with. We'll throw down a couple of solar panels like we normally do, and then I think we can probably utilise this field too for some additional trees. So what we're going to do is we're going to plant lodgepole pines, I think, and then we're going to have them plantation style, cut them down in bulk. We're going to put down a sawmill in one of these areas. Now the sawmill on the map is up over this way, I'm pretty sure, near field 59. So the access is not very good. It's quite far from the temple. So this is kind of the best compromise I found to get short transit time to the temple to deliver what we need. So actually what we should do is check what is needed to start with. So long planks and cement bags. Okay, so we're going to have to invest in the cement factory pretty early to also get the production moving along. So what we should probably do is let's get some income generators down. First we probably need a tractor actually. Probably just going to go, I think, a medium tractor, large end medium tractor, so maybe the 6R, something like that. So this is primarily just going to be for our tree planter. Actually, we could probably get away with a really small tractor for that, to be honest. So let's go and have a look at the tree planter and see what the horsepower requirement is. If I can remember where, there it is. So it's only 120 horsepower. So we can go, let's go a really small tractor. So let's go ahead and lease this guy. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's get a small tractor. Now pretty much any of these will do. I thought there was a John Deere in the smalls, obviously not. 3650, which I'm not really keen on. I'll probably go a class. Yeah, let's go to class here. Get the upgraded engine. So it's 100 and if I can see 165 horsepower. I think we'll omit the front loader for now, and we're just going to lease this Cool, so this is this guy here, so we might need a front way as well, so let's get this guy connected first. See how we go. And then obviously the shop is not too far from field 10 and 11, so it's going to be a reasonable commute. Alright, let's get some saplings, some tree saplings. So back into forestry, down to saplings. We want to find tree saplings, so the stock ones here. We want to get one pallet, because we're going to use the helper buy function. And we want to find the lodgepole pine. So definitely lodgepole. Let's buy one of those. Cool. Oh, and just before I forget, I need to change a couple of settings quickly. So we want to have real-time, economic difficulty easy, seasonal growth yes, 1 day months, fixed visual month is off, snow is on, crop destruction on, plowing's turned off. I might turn that back on at some stage. Just double check. These are all standard. General settings. Okay, that's usually pretty good. So I usually just adjust the timescale to begin with, at least anyway. Alright, let's head on back to the farm. So I'll throw on a time lapse while we drive over there. We'll get this guy set up and then we'll come back in. Enjoy the tunes. Alright, here we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into field 10 pretty much straight up. Get the worker to detect the field. Okay. Alright, so that's going to be a lot of trees. So let's send this guy away and get him started. So basically it's going to take probably roughly 3 years for these trees to grow and mature. So we'll get them in the ground, we'll get them going, and we'll have a good stockpile of trees to begin with. Okay, next thing we want to place is, I'm going to get off the ground just here, just in case we need to build on it. As I always do, chuck in a couple of solar panels. Now the reason why I put the solar panels in is to supplement the leasing costs, at least initially. Okay, land is not owned by you, so we could put some solar panels in there. Not there. Looks like we can chuck some in here as well. So I've got a feeling this is probably where our cement factory is going to go. So let's see if we can't tightly pack the solar panels in. Overlaps with another object, of course it does. Let's try this. Okay, is it going to work? Okay, there's 1, 2. Let's just go 3 to begin with. See if we can get it in front here somehow. Not doing a real good job here, am I? Okay, let's try. There we go. Okay, so that'll do that. Cool. Alright, so this is going to take a little while. So how many have we got? Quite densely packed. So I've done this on Riverbend Springs, and I've also done a logging guide, which sort of explains this method a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to be basically expanding on this for the purposes of this tutorial. Now, let's just run over to field 11 quickly. So we've got peas over here, we've got our solar panels. Oh yeah, the land drops away quite a bit. Interesting. Didn't really consider that when I first looked at this plot. Now, I think the cement factory is going to have to go in here, so what we need to do is we need to put down the debris crusher. So the debris crusher is basically your source of rocks. So this is the debris crusher. Stones can be collected free of charge from this building. Okay, so this will be the debris crusher. Okay, it needs a little bit of terraforming by the looks of it. Can I rotate this around? Toggle snapping off. How do we rotate it? Toggle free mode on? Is that how it goes? There's got to be something wrong here. Let's try this. Actually, let's try the cement factory. So I think the cement factory was back up this way. Okay, there it is there. Oh yeah, the cement factory is way too big. It's going to be a struggle to get this guy in here, actually, now that I think about it. Because we want to have access to all those points. So there's a point out the back, and then we've got a point at the front, which we need access to. So I'm assuming it would go probably here. I mean, do we pull the trigger? Land is not owned by you. Of course it's not. Just want to get a feel for how much it's going to cost. Okay, so the terraforming is not too bad. I mean, the access is probably not amazing. Look, this could be a disaster, but let's just see how we go. Pop that there. Is that terraformed onto the road a little bit? Okay, I'm not a huge fan of that, to be fair. Let's go and have a look. I mean, if I was smart, I would have done this practice run prior to starting the Let's Play, but I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, okay, it's quite bumpy. I wonder if I can soften that. Let's see if we can get the soften tool out. Okay, soften. Land is not owned by you. Area is restricted. Of course it is. Is that softening at all? Because the problem we're going to run into is that this is going to be problematic for forklifts. Look, let's just make it work. It is what it is. Right, debris crusher. So obviously now we need a source of stones, so let's get that guy. So luckily this is only 99,000. Now, where are the points for this guy? So it looks like it's going to make a pile somewhere. I actually don't know where I'd say the pile comes out down here in that little bunker. So maybe you can only snap one of two ways, like pretty much like that. Let's see if we can rotate it. Rotate camera. Nope. Tilt camera. Okay. So it only snaps to 90 degree angles. So I think we're pretty much going to be stuck with this. Can we get it in this way? Will that work? Yeah, look, I think this is going to be the best way forward. So let's just plonk this down. Throw it in the back corner here. Sort of in the boundaries of the field, I think is a pretty good spot. Okay. I mean, if I could do this again, I probably would change up the placement a tiny bit. But my understanding is we're pretty much going to have rocks spawn here. And then in the cement factory. So we go and have a look at the production. Okay, so we have got input of stones. So it's going to make cement bricks, cement bags, and roof plates. Okay, cool. And those are going to spawn, obviously, at that spawn point we looked at before. Alright, so if we go and have a look at the temple, obviously we need a sawmill as well. So let's have a look at that, visit. So we're getting our wood production underway. We've got cement production, pretty much, which can commence soon. This guy's doing his thing. Solar panels will carry the team. So obviously when we're going to be cycling through days to get these trees to grow, we'll be able to do some additional work. So I think what we could do now is actually we could do a contract, because that's going to take a while to plant. So we've got a deadwood contract. We've got fertilizing. Got some mowing. Now this might be a good one. Okay, so let's borrow the items. Cool. Now I don't normally do contracts, but I think for the sake of the Let's Play, and obviously we've got a fair bit of tree planting to do, kind of makes sense. So let's see if we can get some contracts on the go. Now I think we can have 3 on the go at once, and luckily this one is pretty close, so it is behind us. And luckily this mower folds too, because otherwise it would be very, very difficult to drive. Now I'm actually going to do this for a change. Normally I'll just get a worker and send it, but I don't think I've actually used this mower, not an FS25 anyway, so let's see how it performs. Okay, let's lower the mower, turn the mower on. Looking pretty good. Right, what I'll do is I'll throw a time lapse on while I do this, and then we'll come back in once we're done. Enjoy the tunes, see you in a few minutes. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to fire myself from mowing. We're going to go get a second contract on the go. So let's see if the worker... Yep, so the worker will go and do its thing. We're going for trees. So we're getting a good density of trees here, which is good. Okay, contracts. Active versus available. So we've got spraying, we've got wood transport, new. Why can't I scroll down? Okay, there we go. We've got fertilizing, harvesting. What was this one? Field 7. Oh, that'll keep us going for a little while. What is it? Harvesting canola. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. So obviously that mower is going to fix up all the bits that I missed, because I didn't do a great job in getting every small part. Okay, what we need to do is let's get connected. So I'll send this guy on a go-to over to field 11, was it? No, field 11 is the one we own, so field 7. Set destination, we want to go to field 7. So let's go to the gas station, or thereabouts. Okay, let's see if I can get off the header. Alright, we're away. So I'll throw a time lapse on while we drive over there. See you in a minute. Enjoy the tunes. Alright, here we are. So let's get these guys set up. Now I will say this about the Hutan Pantai map that I quite like is the openness, especially of this middle section. It's got sort of not quite a Midwestern American vibe, but quite similar. Okay, so let's see if I unfold that header. Okay, unfold the harvester. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to hire a worker straight up here. So let's get our field map up and running. Looking pretty good. Hire the worker, and then we'll just leave our... Well, actually, we'll get this guy off the road. And I'll actually just park it in behind the combine for now. Okay, and then I just need to remember where we are taking this product. So harvest the field and take the product to the specified selling station. Selling station, Harbour Grain Elevator. Okay, cool. Cool, good to know. Alright, what else we got? Wood transport, rock removal, another harvesting contract, deadwood. Seems like a pretty lightweight reward. Let's try a rock removal. This should be an easy one. I mean, spraying's also quite easy, but costs us a bit of money. So let's borrow these items. And field 22. Now I think rock removal is making a comeback from FS22. Silver Run Forest in particular. Alright, so I'm going to send this worker over on a go-to. So let's go. Okay, so he should... I mean, it looks like he's about to set up a jousting match, but anyway, that would be interesting. Skid steer jousting. Anyway, time to get serious. Alright, how's this guy going? So we should have pretty good density of trees. Yeah, we're going to have tons. So this is going to be our first forest. Okay. The sawmill... Oh, we're going to need a front loader too, aren't we? So probably a telehandler. And I think this is going to be where the rocks are going to go in. I mean, I would love a front loader at this early stage, but I think that's going to be out of the question. Let's see how much it is going to cost us to lease a telehandler. So we just go to the Manitou, I think. So we'll grab this guy. I've used this before. Okay, and then we'll grab a front bucket for it. So, and then eventually we'll work up to a wheel loader. Okay, let's lease that. Definitely cleaning out our money. Wow, that guy's overshot something crazy. Good animation. What head is this? This is the Macdon. Cool. So I'm playing on patch 1.6 at the moment. It might be 1.7, I'm not sure. So there might be a little bit of visual improvement. The game's a little bit more stable as well, which is good. And a few other quality of life changes. So that's kind of why I've jumped into Hutan Pantai at this point. Hopefully things have improved. Right, let's head over to the cement factory and we'll see if we can't get our first load in. So I'll throw a time lapse on while I drive over there. See you in a few minutes. Enjoy the tunes. Alright, here we are. So this is our little rock pile. Now hopefully this bucket is big enough, or small enough I should say, to at least fit in here. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we have got not much. Now that could have just been my scooping skills. Let's try this again. Well, that's quite a severe drop too. I have to do a bit of softening. Anyway, let's go dump it in and see if we can't get some productions happening. So my understanding is that it should just go in like so. Okay, so we've got 570 litres of stones. We are currently want cement bags, so let's turn that to active. Let's set that to storing, and we'll leave the roof plate off, and the cement brick off for now. Cool. So that's going to be okay. We need to go and empty our combine wherever he is. Oh yeah, just about ready to come around for a lap. So once he's here, we'll load up and then we'll come back in. Actually, before we do that, we're here ready to break some rocks. So let's get this cracking. So let's, no pun intended. Okay, this is somewhat satisfying. Okay, broken. Okay, where's rock number 2? So the rock breaker knows to jackhammer once it's over the rock. Okay. I mean, it sounds like it's doing some sort of weird Morse code or something. This one? Okay, got one more to go, probably. I mean, it's good they put a flag there. Makes it pretty obvious, right? Okay, rock removal contract has finished. Okay, let's go and collect. Mission was collected. Okay. I mean, contracts, I just don't feel like they're worth it, personally. I mean, they're pretty easy, but you got to do a lot of them to make money. Anyway, all right, we need to go and empty our combine, and of course, it's blocking the combine's path. Classic. So we should be able to unload on the go here, hopefully. And then we've got to take it over to the harbour. So what I'll do is I'll throw a time lapse on while we unload, and then we'll take this load over to the sell point. So enjoy the tunes, see you in a couple of minutes. So this looks to be it. So where is, I mean, maybe around the back here, I'm assuming. Yeah, probably over here. Now I know it makes sense to probably do a load with more product, but I just wanted to come over and see what the best way might be to get over here. This looks like another debris crusher. Okay. Interesting. I mean, this cargo ship thing's pretty cool. The Fellowship. I mean, no copyright infringement there, right? Except for the Fellowship of the Ring, pun intended. But yeah, this town setup's pretty cool. Right, where should I go? Probably back this way, actually. Can we go over the bridge? Looks to be like a dam. Yeah, we can't go that way. Is that a dam? Yeah, it is a dam. Cool. There you go. If I had watched a map tour, I might know a little bit more about this map, but we're just trying to explore it organically as we go. Give you my 2 cents here and there, whether you ask for it or not. Alright, let's go. Well, that kind of defeats going that way because we just basically came from there. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'll throw a time lapse on, we'll drive back to the farm. And we need to put down a farmhouse actually, so that's going to be the next thing we do. So I'll see you over there. Enjoy the tunes. Alright, here we are. So the harvester's still doing its thing, which is good. Looks like it's doing the up and downs. So we'll just go and park up on the side here. Now, one thing I was thinking is you could really create some quite massive fields on this map. So if we just sort of jump out, like this field here, for example, this field here, and this field here. Yeah, that'd be huge. Alrighty, farmhouse. Where is this going to go? So we're going to have to go the smallest one we can, which I think is going to be this guy, 55 grand. That's going to clear out all our cash too. Is there a cheaper one? Addable triggers, a house for your farm. If we could sleep on a bench. You know what? I think this might be the way to go. I don't even know how I got that mod, to be fair. What about this guy? Sleep next to the gas station. Land is not owned by you. Yes, it is. Flattening failed. That sucks. I mean, is there a better spot down here, perhaps? Let's have a look. Under the bridge, like a troll. I don't think you can own the land under the bridge just quietly. There must be some restriction there, eh? Clearly there is, because we can't put it down. I mean, we could put it down here potentially. Area is restricted. I mean, do we want to live next to a debris crusher? I think we're going to have to. Why is this so difficult? Okay. There we go. That'll work for now. Alright, let's check in on what's happening. So we've got our trees going in for our first forest. Okay. So that's going to be pretty significant investment. This guy has finished the mowing, it would appear. So let's collect on that contract. Okay, so let's collect that, 8 grand. Good stuff. We've still got our harvest underway. So we've got a little bit to do there. We're down to 16,000, so we're committed. So it's going to take a little while. We've got some debris crusher action, so we've got some stones coming in at a pretty good clip at the moment. So that's also not too bad. Our solar panels are going to carry the team, so once we start sleeping, that's going to increase our stone production, I'm pretty sure. And that's also going to facilitate the tree growth, okay? Now, hopefully we can afford a tree harvester, and then obviously a sawmill. Now, I'm thinking the sawmill's going to have to probably squeeze in here somewhere. Potentially not going to work. I mean, unless it leaves some room around here somewhere, but we're pretty much out of room. I'm going to have to cut down some trees and probably make some space. But we're pretty much almost done here, so I don't think I'd want to plant too many more trees. But that's going to be a pretty dense forest, so we'll see what happens, but that's the game plan anyway. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode. Hope you enjoy the episode and the upcoming series. Got any questions about what I'm doing, let me know down below. Let me know how you're enjoying the game down below as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.